Right, good morning, good morning. Okay, so here we have some more halachas for today. And today we're going to be quickly discussing the Seder. So, one of the things we have to know is that when doing the mitzvahs of the Seder, like eating matzah, and not more, but kairech, if a person is eating matzah, kairech, there is some minhag to also, some people do it by Shulchan Aruch as well, but it's a must by matzah and by the four kaisos. You must go ahead and lean. You have to do haseba. If one forgot to do any leaning, then halacha is he has to go ahead and lean and eat the matzah again. So how do we lean? So leaning is done when you are on your left side. You're going to go ahead and lean over. Now, it can't be like an unnatural position. You can't be like, straining yourself. It's supposed to be comfortable. So if you can get some sort of, if you can either have an armchair or something like that where you can lean on the chair, the arm, or position your chair so that you're going to be leaning on the table. So this way you're leaning on something and make yourself comfortable. That's why many people bring a pillow to the table. Make it comfortable. You don't want to lean on too big of an incline because then you're not gonna. It's also unnatural. You want to go ahead and lean in a manner that gives off the impression that you're royalty, that you're totally relaxed. You're on a beach and you are cheres. This is the way that people used to eat becheres, and therefore that would be the way to go ahead and lean. If a person, you want to go ahead and position yourself also. So for example, if you're more comfortable, with your feet to balance yourself, you want to cross your legs or something like that just to keep balance. That's also all part of it. The idea is that you're trying to position yourself into a position of the most comfortable, chayristic way that you could lean, that you could eat. This leaves your right hand free. So again, you're leaning on your left side, trying to position yourself in a comfortable way. And that's during at least matzah and the four cases. Women do not have to lean. If they want to, they may. This is not a bias against women. If you want, we could discuss it afterwards, exactly why. But it's more of a cultural difference. Women don't necessarily lean in order to show cheres, so there's no point in doing it. Okay, now with regards to the shiurim of the matzah, with regards to moitzi matzah, we like to have two kizaysim. So first of all, what's a kizayis? A kizayis it really depends on the thickness. A kizayis is a kizayis. The question is, how do we measure it? It depends on the thickness of your matzah. Without a chart and without knowing exactly what your matzah looks like, if you're using the hand shmur matzahs, so generally, if it's really thin matzah, then you need about a half a matzah per kazayas. We'll talk about why we need two kazayas in a second. If it's medium thickness matzah, then you need a third. 2/5. And if it's a thick matzah, then you need, usually and generally, depending on, if you sense that it's a thicker matzah, then you need about a third of a hand matzah for your kizaisim. If you're using the regular square machine matzahs, then 2/3 of your average matzah is considered a kazayas. We like to use two kazaysim for moitzi matzah, one from the top matzah and one from the middle matzah, and therefore you end up eating, if it's a very thin matzah, you end up eating a full matzah, and if it's a medium thick matzah, then you end up eating, medium is, but you end up eating 4/5, or if it's a thicker matzah, 2/3 of a matzah for moitzi matzah. What you're going to do is you're going to go ahead, you're going to take the three matzahs, the top and the bottom one are going to be whole, the middle one is already broken that you broke by yachatz. You're going to go ahead and you're going to say the brachas hamaitzi, then you're going to drop the bottom matzah, and you're going to say on only the top and middle matzah, you're going to say the bracha v'chilas matzah, and then you're going to go ahead and split up the top matzah. So what you do is, if you're leading the Seder and you're the only one making the bracha, different menhagim here, so you're going to take a kazayas of the top matzah. Like we said, it's going to be the maximum is a half of that matzah, and for yourself, and then break off the little pieces to everybody else at the table of the top matzah, and they will supplement another, whatever shear of matzah you need for everybody else at the table. Then the middle matzah, you're gonna also again take take most of it for yourself, and then everybody else again will have their own 2 kesesim. Everybody ends up eating 2 kesesim. The question is where they get it from. All this is not really ma'akev. It's just nice and hiddur to go ahead and get a kesayah specifically from the top one for that person. But that would be the most hiddur way to do it. One should not go ahead and soften the matzah with any water or anything like that. He should eat it straight and plain. That's lechatchila. And of course, if a person, is sick or something like that, at that point we'll start to talk. Maybe it's mutter to go ahead and dilute and soften it in cold water. But that's really an exception, and generally a person should try to avoid that. Get the matzah down, and then you can take your drink. All right, have a great one. A chag kosher v'sameach, and with Hashem later today we will put out another Erev Shabbos Yontif message. Have a great and amazing chag.